So we've caught up with Dan here once again to talk about the latest and greatest things about the new Forza. You revealed it today, sort of proper. We sort of known that Forza 6 is coming. It was been announced, but we hadn't seen it before. So big day today to sort of finally show people a little bit more of Forza 6.
Yeah, it was a great day for us. You know, being able to showcase Forza 6 in its glory with a great trailer. Having the Ford GT drop from the ceiling, I think it was a great surprise for all the fans that were there at the auditorium. And then here at the showcase, you know, players are getting to experience night and rain, driving in Rio. The Ford GT, there's going to be millions of miles driven on the Ford GT this weekend. Nobody's actually driven on the track yet. So it's kind of exciting. But more than anything, it's the numbers. This is the biggest game we've ever built. 450 Forza Vista cars. That means they can all be damaged and customized. They can all be driven in cockpit view and doors and open. 26 environments, 10 new. We've got 70-hour career, 24-player multiplayer. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second. It's a lot of numbers, right? But it's not the numbers that matter. It's the experiences the players get. The experience we have of night and of rain is really new to gaming. We didn't want our night to look like a dark day. We want it to look like night. It's black. And you're racing by the headlights that are just barely illuminating in front of you. Have that tension of following the two red lights in front of you. And rain, having these big puddles on the track that you hydroplane through. Really doing the research on what happens to tires in the rain. This was important to make Forza 6 just be the biggest and greatest game that we can make.
Have you done any testing with the 24-player online gaming? What does that add to the experience?
So 24-player online is great. We've got dedicated servers, so you have good quality of service. But on top of that, we have a new leagues mode. In leagues, you're put into a division based on your skill and your temperament. So that keeps you away from griefers. It keeps you with people in your same continent if you're in the same time zone, so you have better quality of service. And it also means you're in with people of your same skill level. And that's the real point. If you're going to have 24-player multiplayer, you want it to be fast and fair and fun. So 24-player is great, but we had to rethink how we get people in and out of matchmaking.
I can imagine also that the thing you said about temperament, how you drive, what's the philosophy there? Do you want to have a mix of people of the same skill level with different sort of driver types, or do you want to have them the same in the same race?
We want to have people feel like they're with the perfect race for them. That wasn't about a blend, that was about population control and making sure we can get the greatest players that are of similar skill and temperament online at the same time, having a good time on dedicated servers. And that's what the league system does really well. So 24-car multiplayer, it benefits from what we learn about you as you race, including Drivatar, which is a very powerful system and has undergone new changes in 6 as well.
You got to have a lot of big data to pull from to sort of make that happen.
Yeah, you know, Drivatar is a very different way of approaching games and opponents and AI and all of that. And we now have millions of data points from Forza 5 and Forza Horizon 2. And we were able to pull all of that into Forza 6. So everybody's Drivatar is already racing in Forza 6. But we heard our fans, they wanted the Drivatars to be more professional. We now have a toggle, an option, where you can make them be more professional. You still get all their humanity, but they won't drive like jerks. But you don't have to turn that on, because it's Forza, you have choice. Now also, the Drivatars have learned new behaviors. We're able to study the data and really have them learn how to drive more human-like. So the fastest drivers are even faster, and the slower drivers make even more mistakes.
Interesting, because I guess it's a learning experience with every game that you build on with this new technology.
Yeah, you know, we really kind of had a tiger by the tail. It's an idiom meaning we were ahead of ourselves with Drivatar system. It was such a new way of looking at opponents and AI and big data and what it means to put that in games. Honestly, we're going to be still learning and expanding on this forever. I love it. You know, as soon as we got the new physics system working in Forza 6, we plugged the older Drivatars in. They instantly learned how to drive the cars, like that day. It's amazing what the system can do. We don't have to think about it. It does it itself. It's always surprising me.
So there's been a lot of focus on the Ford GT. Obviously, you're very proud to get that in there. Is there any other out of the 450 cars that you'd like to sort of pinpoint and that you're happy to get in there now?
Well, the 450 is all about the diversity. It's not the number. So yeah, the Ford GT is a great car. It's a GT car. It's a great car to go up against Ferrari 458 and Audi R10 or R8s. You know, it's a great car. But the cars that I like the most, because they challenge our simulation, are honestly these older cars. When you look at like a 250 GTO, or you look at a car that's part metal and part wood, you know, and it has all this flex and really high sidewalls. That's really hard for a simulation engine. And we had to go do new research on not only body flex, but also bias-ply, pre-war tires, you know, to really get that simulation right. So the cars I like the most are these, you know, 1940s, 1960s, 1950s cars. Well, the thing I love about the classic cars, you can have two cars that should be the same weight, same tire width, but they don't drive like each other at all. Whereas today's modern cars are so good. I mean, they're all so good. Even a baseline, you know, EconoBox car is a great car. And it means that there's not as much nuance from one car to the next. When you get into an old car, you know it.
All right, so I think another big, great surprise is that you're actually bringing it out pretty soon. It's September, was it?
September 15th in North America, yeah.
And you're rearing to go already then?
Yeah, we're already in the shoot. We're, you know, the game plays great. People are having a great time in it. Obviously, it's not done. It's still pre-release. We've got bugs. We're fixing that. But we're playtesting the game. We're working on the game. We've already got players playing it. We've got Drive-A-Chars up and running. So it feels good, man. We're having a good time.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.